Welcome back to the 86 and the 12 valve build. This week we are going to do some painting. So it's more or less the way we left it. We've been doing a little bit of cleaning and this and that. We went ahead and blasted our lifting eye because we're going to need that. And we blasted our front cover and cleaned it up. We got it back on. We've been just plugging up some holes, like all these holes in the intake and our oil galley plugs. Just, you know, whatever holes we're not sticking something in, we don't want paint in there. We've just been plugging them with these blue plugs. The valve covers are still, they're just cleaned, but we didn't blast them because I think these are going to be a different color in the end. So we'll just use them basically for masking right now. And then once we're done painting the engine and we get ready to paint them for real, we'll blast them then and just take them back down to aluminum. But other than that, not much has changed. So what we got to do now is we'll get it over there into the paint shop, and then we're going to have to clean it real good. Like it looks just wet with oil, assembly lube, all that. So we're gonna have to get after it with brake clean, wax and grease remover, whatever it takes to get it cleaned up. And then we'll remask a lot of this. This was just there to keep dirt out. You know, all this is gonna come off and we'll remask it off right. But that's kind of where we're at. So we're gonna get this thing moved over to the paint shop and do some more cleaning. Well, we're getting pretty close. We got it all washed down with the wax and grease remover. Try and get most of that oil off of it. We scuffed the pan up with a red Scotch-Brite. Let that paint grab a hold of it a little bit better. So I think now all we have is a bunch of masking. I think we finally got her all masked up. It's quite a bit of taping, but it's all going to be worth it. Hopefully we haven't missed anything.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It looks pretty good, I think.
Ready to make it look pretty.
Mm-hmm. Got the adapter plate taped off, so I don't get any paint on a rear main seal or anything like that. I think it's ready to go. We've already got our epoxy mixed up, sitting over there incubating. So we're ready to shoot some paint. Well, that's 2 coats down. I think we're gonna call that good on the primer. That's just epoxy, nothing special. So we'll let this sit for I don't know, 30 minutes or so, and then start spraying paint. Okay, well, our epoxy's flashed off. It's pretty dry at this point, so we're ready to spray some paint on this thing finally. Hopefully make it look pretty.
Oh yeah.
And there isn't anything we can think of that would make it look prettier than some Hitachi gray. Yeah, we decided to go with the Hitachi gray because we feel like it's pretty close, if not the same as Cummins gray. And we have it in a quart to spray it. We have spray cans to touch up with, so it just makes sense.
Yeah, win-win.
Yeah, so that's what we're going with, Hitachi gray. So let's shoot some paint. Yeah, I think at this point Hitachi gray is like woven into the DNA of this truck.
Yeah, it is. Just wouldn't be right not to have any permanently visible.
Pretty. All right. Well, that Hitachi gray looks like it belongs there to me.
Yep, it's meant to be.
Yeah, they probably all use the same paint. But it's looking pretty sharp. So I guess we'll let this dry overnight at least, and we'll take it back over there and start bolting some cool stuff on it. Well, we got her moved back over here. It's all dry now. And it's time to start unmasking, which honestly might have should have done yesterday. There is some risk of peeling paint once it's, you know, basically fully dried, but I think we're gonna be okay. So we'll start tearing the tape off of this thing, see what we're left with, and then we can start bolting on some bling. Yeah. This paint around these exhaust ports probably ain't gonna last long, but at least it look good for now. Most of it will probably burn off in the first 5 minutes. Some of this stuff will have to be remasked, but we probably need to get this masking off just so, you know, the paint doesn't continue to just get harder and harder, and then your risk of pulling tape and peeling a bunch of it off just goes up and up. All these plastic plugs would probably be okay, but the tape itself probably needs to go. Unfortunately, we don't have our pump back yet, so we can't stick a pump in. Yep. The tape will have to do for now. So what you want to start with? Tappet cover?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a good place to start as any, I reckon.
I'm sure everybody's anxious to see that new billet tappet cover on there anyway.
Heck yeah.
I know I am.
Me too. It's gonna look good.
So I guess we'll start with the baffles. We'll get those on, or at least one of them. I think we only need one. We'll probably plug the other hole. Then we'll get this seal in here.
Little bitty things.
Mm-hmm. I guess that's why they call for red Loctite. Want any chance of them little tiny screws falling out inside the motor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be catastrophic. Just probably put way too much, but
yeah, better too much than not enough in this case, I suppose.
I'll tell you want it.
About that tight.
Yeah, it's good
I was
enough.
hoping that thing would get down there more flush.
Yeah, I kind of did too.
I'd almost prefer to see an O-ring thread here with a nice cap.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess we're left to come up with something for this, huh?
Mm-hmm. That's the way it's looking.
Which if this is pipe thread, then you pretty much have to use a pipe 90. We'll have to come up with something for that. It's time for the seal now. This thing comes basically just a strip of O-ring type material. It's not round, it's kind of square.
Yep. Looks perfectly square to me.
So you got to match up the ends on top. Probably use a little bit of RTV or case sealant just to kind of glue the ends back together, and that's about it. Shouldn't need anything around the perimeter. That seal should take care of it, hopefully. Is that the top?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Huh?
Yeah. Oh, no, that is the bottom.
Negative, Ghost Rider. Pull yourself together, man.
Come on, devil.
Yeah, it looks good. It's just squeezing out from between them. Smooth it out a little bit so we don't get a hump there. Should be good. And that stuff dries pretty quick, so I don't think we'll have to wait too long. While we're waiting on that stuff to dry, I say we put the exhaust manifold on.
All right. Went all out on this deal. Power driven stage 8 exhaust manifold locking stud kits. We'll see how this works out.
Yeah, we're gonna put a small amount of anti-seize on these things where they go into the head. Right or wrong. I don't know that whether it will or will not make them come loose. But I do know that if you don't do this, they're going to get stuck, and then you're going to end up breaking them off at some point in this engine's life. That's pretty much a given, at least in my opinion. All right. Got a nut, and then you can see it's got a groove machined in it for one of these, and that holds on this. This is a lock, so you just get it bound up here so the nut can't back out. We'll just set the studs where we got a little bit hanging out of the nut. All right, now we just got to torque them down.
Yeah, some of these look like that may be a tall task.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Ooh, it's opening.
It's opening? Oh, shoot.
Crow's foot's not good for 55. Nah, it looks okay. Nah, it's still kind of flexing.
Guess we ain't to 55 yet.
I know. No, I ain't gonna do it. Whatever you're at there is the max for that crow's foot.
Freaking junk.
Yeah, you can't even get a box end on it. I mean, you're pretty tight. Ain't that revolting? Well, we were going to torque these down to 55 foot-pounds dry. Stage 8 doesn't give a spec. Fleece Performance has 55 foot-pounds listed on their website, so we were going to run with that. But crow's foot, only thing getting on there, and it's opening up before we get to 55 foot-pounds. So I guess these four in the middle they're just going to get a couple of ugga-duggas or what an open-end wrench is capable of doing. I don't think that's going to be 55, but we're just going to have to take what we can get. So that's what the locks look like. Just get them up against something where they can't turn backwards. And then you put the clip, and that's it. Nothing to it. Should never ever come loose. That's what they say.
That's what they say. A lot of people say it though.
Mm-hmm. That does it for the manifold. All torqued down and locked. Good for 1,000,000 miles.
2 million.
Right. Our tablet covered glue should be dry by now. Yeah, it's pretty dry. I think we can go ahead and get that sucker put on now. We didn't put any goo in the corners. Suggested to put some case sealant or something in the corners to make it stick, because it does kind of want to fall out, but we're going to see if we can manage to get it in here without it. If we hold it and roll it, maybe it'll cooperate. So we have to get around that stud. I think it worked.
Seems like it worked. I might have should have oiled all these.
Yeah, might have, should have. Some little tiny O-rings.
Mm-hmm. Little tiny.
Here we go.
Yep.
Pretty swanky.
Yeah, looks good. Dang sight better than that factory one.
Yeah, I reckon we may as well get this pump in here while we're already right here. There we go. This should be a pretty easy job with those studs. If you're putting a regular lift pump on or putting any kind of lift pump on without studs, you're gonna have to try to compress the pump to get them started, where these studs kind of take care of that for you.
Well, it really ain't that far away from making contact, really, as far as I thought.
Must be on the heel of that lobe for sure. Yeah, you only get one guess as to what the torque is on those.
18 foot-pounds?
You got it.
Very much. Oof. This ought to be fun.
Mm-hmm. Come on, man. Already?
Yeah. Oh, God.
Maybe it'll work. Now it's a turbo.
Old Turbski. Thing of beauty.
Mm-hmm. We're going with the stage 8 locking bolts for the turbo too. And I'm pretty certain this is stainless. We're going to go ahead and put anti-seize on these threads. because stainless wants to go the best of times. So I'm not going to take any chances with that. Let's see.
This will be fun.
Yeah, it is close to the engine stand, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
What a jip.
Mm-hmm. So I've been looking forward to the most.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't bolt this all the way up because we're getting into the engine stand, which is not a big deal because this needs to go get Cerakoted anyway. So it was always going to come off. We just wanted to get it on there so we could see it and y'all could see it. But we're pretty much getting the effect anyway.
Yeah.
So that'll just have to do for now. But we've got pretty much everything on here we can get on here. There's a few things we still need to clean up, like our thermostat housing and our water inlet AC compressor bracket deal. We need to get that cleaned up and painted and get them both on here. And there's going to be tons of other odds and ends, but we probably won't make y'all sit through all that.
Yeah, still a lot of odds and ends left.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's sealed up. Looks like it's supposed to look finally.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to do it for this episode, everybody. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, we'd appreciate if you'd subscribe to the channel. And then don't forget to go in the comments and type subscribed. That'll get you entered into our monthly giveaways. But we appreciate y'all watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.